Hello everybody out there and welcome to another episode of the ToniSport Newsfeed. Today I'm back with another video from our new created series How To. And today I want to talk a little bit about how to select the best race car and the best equipment for yourself when you are getting started with racing RC cars and when you are getting started to take it a little bit more serious, when you maybe join a club and to go practicing on racetracks frequently, because this is a very important stage of an RC racer's career, if you like to call it so. In the last video, in the first one, I just talked about my own personal start into RC racing, and I also talked about finding local clubs, finding out about RC racing in general, because it's very new to many people around the world when they find out that people are racing seriously with these kind of toy cars on racetracks. This was the content of the last video, and today I just want to progress a little bit further, because once you have now found out that there is a local RC club close to your home and you are interested in going there and race with the stuff you have, then mostly in 99% of all the cases, the kind of the hobby driver which has only raced in a parking lot or on the street or on the grass in the garden always comes to the point where he recognizes that the material he bought before is not the best for racing kind of fast on a proper racetrack. Many guys, they own the ready-to-run cars, which you can buy from many brands like Traxxas and Arma and Carson and all these brands, Tamiya also. And these cars are great for getting started into the hobby. They are super cool to bash around in the backyard, in the park of your city or in the city center to impress friends and people around you. So these products, they are very good in our world of racing because they are normally the first products which people get in contact with, and then some of them move forward and try to get something better for racetracks. And at this stage it is important to make the right decisions, because when you then join a club, it is not easy. You see so many different cars, and I'm talking more about on-road racing now because I'm not so much involved into off-road racing, but the general things are the same. So you have many manufacturers out there, and when you don't know which car to buy, it is super difficult because you can read the product descriptions where every manufacturer tells you that their car is the best on the market, and you can also take a look on all the nice product pictures and all these cars on the market. When you want to buy kind of a proper entry-level race car or a better one, all these cars are looking good on the pictures. They all have great features, and so it is almost impossible to select for yourself which car to buy now if you want to practice on the racetrack. So the first thing you need to make clear for yourself is how much money do you want to invest, or how much money can you invest, because it is kind of there are almost no limits. For sure at one day you will have all the stuff you need, but you can get started with a good entry-level race car where the car kit itself is maybe around 200 euros. You can build this car, you can adjust it, and you can do very good practice sessions and also club races with this car. And then you have the bigger step, which is then going directly to a high level or high performance race car where the car kit is normally between 450 and 750 euros. So this is the first thing you need to make clear for yourself. Do you want to step directly into the Champions League buying one of the high-end cars, or do you say, hey, I will go with a cheaper, low-budget entry-level race car to just try out if this makes sense for me, if I enjoy driving it, if I enjoy wrenching on it, changing setups and trying stuff, or if I maybe notice after half a year that this hobby is maybe not the right one for me, and that I will maybe go back bashing in the garden. So this is something you need to make clear for yourself. Once you have figured it out what you want to do and how much money and how much time you want to invest, then it's up to you to go to the people in your local club or on the track you are planning to race on, and just talk to them. Because if you can also contact a hobby shop. They will also help you to find a proper car and a good equipment and stuff. But I think one of the key facts in the beginning is that you race with a car which many drivers in this local area and in this local club are running. You have a lot of help, which you will definitely get from the people. You will have a lot of setup knowledge. You can easily orientate yourself on the others. So what is the fast guy doing? I will maybe copy his setup, or I will try the same things he is trying to get my car better. So this is something which can help a lot. And also in case of the spare parts, because in the beginning you will maybe not buy every spare part for your car, because then it would mean that you basically need a second car kit to have every spare part with you when practicing. So it is always the same. You're practicing and you break one part a day, and this is mostly the part which you don't have in your box. And then when there are many drivers running the same car, or a car from the same manufacturer as you are running, then you can ask them, and normally you will always find this kind of spare part. And then the people are helping each other out, and you give the guy the spare part back next time when you have ordered it or something like that, or you just buy it from him, and then you can continue your day at the track. Because it's very frustrating when you arrive at a track, you're doing 2 batteries on the track and your car breaks and you don't have the spare parts. Then you have to go back home again, and this is not very cool. So what I want to say is you have to be kind of strategical, clever, because you need to find out what most of the guys are running in your home club or on your home track. You need to find out which brands are offering a good spare part support. You need to find out which hobby shop is stocking all that stuff you want to buy in the future. And this all together will help you to find a conclusion for buying a car. Because if you buy a good car and you don't get spare parts for it, that really sucks. If you buy a car where you get a lot of spare parts, but the car is maybe not good at all, it also is not a good decision. So you need to find out what to buy, and there are so many brands nowadays on the market, especially in on-road racing. We're talking about Osomatics, Mugen Seiki, X-Ray, then you have the Schumacher cars, cars from Destiny, cars from Express, you have cars from so many brands. I'm sure I forgot many of them now, and it's not easy to select, because there is no best car and no worst car. RC Maker also offers a super nice car at the moment. So it's many manufacturers out there, and you should just select something which you like, the look of the car, the design, maybe the brand. It's sometimes also kind of an emotional thing, if you like the blue color of X-Ray, or if you like the brand logo or the drivers of Mugen Seiki or whatever. This is something which you then will figure out easily after the first 1, 2 or 3 years, which team or which manufacturer is the one you like the most. But for the beginning, I can only recommend you to ask the people on the track, hey guys, what car are you running? Can you tell me a little bit about it? Can you show me the car? What is the positive and the negative when I buy it? Can you help me if I will buy the same car? This is the same what we are doing also in our local home club. For example, there we have a lot of Mugen drivers. I'm also running this car, and I try to help the people as much as I can. And this normally works out very fine in most of the cases. And it is also kind of a responsibility for the good drivers in a club or in a team to help the entry-level guys when they have questions. Because when you are all on yourself or all alone on yourself, it is not easy to figure out all these things in the beginning to get up to a kind of a decent level, because there are a lot of things you can do with your car and with your equipment, and that also means that there are a lot of things you can do in the wrong way to maybe not have a great day on the track. So yeah, just talk to the people and then buy something which is very much used in your area. The next thing is, when you go with your car on the track, the next question is what kind of equipment you want to buy. For sure, you need a good set of tools, you need some setup tools, you need batteries, you need a charger, and all that stuff. You need an electronic speed control, radio, servo. So I don't want to get too deep into this now, but one of the most important questions for beginners is what kind of motor will you put in the car? And as you know, the motors, the motor power is defined by the turns of the motors, and I can only recommend to not go too fast, too early when you're new in the hobby, because for sure a slower stock motor, for example a 21.5 motor or a 17.5 motor, they are not the fastest, but these cars are also not slow. With a 21.5 motor you can easily make 50 or 60 kilometers an hour on a straightaway, which is not slow. And I think most of the times when guys who are coming from bashing or from driving fast on the street in a straight line, when they come to the racetrack and then you tell them, hey, I recommend you to use a 21.5 motor for your car, then they say, hey, I'm running a 10.5 or I'm running an 8.5 motor in my buggy on the street. But this is totally different, you know. On a racetrack it is more about driving constant laps, hitting your marks, driving the perfect lines, learning how to drive 5 minutes without a mistake in kind of a very consistent window of times. This is something you have to learn then, and when you are overpowered from the beginning, you will not find out how to drive properly around the track. You will only try to keep the car on the track, to not drive into the grass on the left and on the right side all the time because you have too much power. So this is something many people do wrong. They put in too much power in their cars in the early stages of their racing career, and then they struggle with problems which they should not struggle with. In the beginning, power is not your main problem. You need to learn how to wrench on the car, how to set it up, and then you need to learn how to drive a clean 5-minute run without making mistakes. And as soon as you can repeat this all the time, as soon as you're feeling comfortable with your car, with the power on track, then you can maybe race the first races in these entry-level classes. And when you then notice that you're doing really good, just do it for a while, and then you can buy a faster motor or rent one from a teammate or from a club member, just to see if you can also handle more power. Because stepping up the motor turns or stepping them down from 21.5 maybe to 13.5, this is a big step. It's a huge difference. The car will get so much faster, and it is not easy to drive then. So what I have seen in the past is that many drivers, they are overpowered in the beginning, and then they kind of get frustrated, because as more power you have, as more important is the perfect setup on the car. And for the perfect setup you have to have a lot of knowledge how to wrench on the car, how to dial in the car perfectly. And in the beginning you will not have this knowledge, because there are so many things you can learn and you need to know to get a car on point for a very powerful motor. So in the beginning, my clear recommendation is slow is fast. Slow will allow you to learn how to drive properly around the track, how to hit your marks. You can more easy learn what is the best racing line and stuff like that. So if you go too fast, it's definitely nothing I can recommend you, and you will not learn as much as if you stay slower for a certain amount of time, and then you can step up the game if you feel ready for this. I think many people on the track will tell you the same, others maybe not, but if you are stepping up the game too fast, then you will maybe end in kind of a frustrated guy who doesn't really know where to start with the setup and with the power settings and with everything. So just keep it in mind to not use too much power in the beginning. And the last topic for this video clip today is in general the approach you need to have in the beginning. Take your time. Don't expect too much in the beginning, because as I said before, there are many things you need to learn about the setup and also about your equipment, about body shells, about tires, about tools, about charging batteries, which batteries you should buy. There is no reason to buy the most expensive things on the market just from the beginning to be on the highest level of the equipment. You can do proper laps with a LiPo battery, which has only maybe cost 40 to 50 euros. You don't need to buy the 90 euros or 100 euros superhero race pack. And you also don't need the 5, 6 or 700 euros radio from Sanwa, Futaba or FlySky. They also have cheaper versions where you can get a very good entry-level radio for 200 or 300 euros. So there's good equipment out there which you can buy for a lower price. The same is for servos and for speed controls and all that stuff. So just talk to the people at your track what kind of equipment they are using, which kind of motor and speedo combos, what servo they recommend and all that stuff. So try to get as much information as possible for yourself to then decide how much money you want to invest and which equipment you like to buy. You can also send an email or call your favorite hobby shop to get some kind of important tips and information from them. They will normally kindly helpful. We as well at ToniSport, so if you have any kind of questions about equipment, just get in contact with us, because our goal is to not maybe make the biggest amount of an invoice for your first purchase. The thing is, it is important to tell the customer what makes sense to buy. Does it make sense for you to buy a 150 euro servo in the beginning? No, it makes not. The 60 euro servo is more than good enough, and if you break it, you can buy a second one and you are still cheaper than when buying the 150 euro servo for your first try. So this is relatively easy. Just keep that in mind. All that RC car equipment costs some money and you can invest a lot of money in that, but for the first time just select the car and the equipment by the people which are around you, and then you will have a very good point to get started. And once you have that feeling that you have the same stuff than the guys around you, you immediately feel better, because you know, hey, any kind of problem, I can ask the people here around me, I can ask my friends. If you need a spare part, you will find it, and then you can see what this car is holding for you. Is same with the equipment. Yeah, that was the second quick episode today of the how-to video series here at the ToniSport Newsfeed channel. More videos will come up quickly, and then we will talk a little bit more in detail about becoming a better racer, becoming faster on track, what you can do to improve, to step up your game when you want to take it serious. Yeah, thanks for listening today. I hope that you enjoyed the video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. Please leave some comments below the video, how you managed the entry to your RC racing. What was your kind of decision-making process when buying a car and buying your equipment? How did you do it? Did you do it only on price, or only on the image of the brand, or only on the look of the car? Just let me know, because I'm really interested about it. And I hope to find as many comments below this video as possible. And we see us in the next video. Until then, always keep in mind, race with ToniSport. You will never race alone. And if you have not subscribed to this YouTube channel, please do it now. Make sure that the bell is on and you will not miss any content in the future. Goodbye guys, and have a great day.